welcome. Today guys, I'm going to be revisiting another one of my recipes that I did when I first started my channel, and it's going to be for milk barfi, or barfi as we call it. So to make the barfi, you'll need some powdered milk, and I'm using the Nido instant powdered milk. You'll need some media cream or table cream. That's Nestle media cream or table cream. And make sure you use the thick parts of the cream, not the water part. I have pureed ginger, ghee, and elychee. Once you've put everything in, you're going to take your hands and you're going to go in and you want to mix all of these ingredients to combine. And you're going to continue mixing this until the milk absorbs all of the wet ingredients. And just keep mixing because you need the milk to get dry. So it's going to start off wet and sticky with all of these wet ingredients. But as you mix, this mixture is going to get back dry. Okay, after you finish mix the milk and all of that wet milk has dried out, we're going to move ahead onto sifting the milk. You're just going to take about a couple spoons of the milk and place it into this strainer or your sieve. Next, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to rub that milk against the wall of the strainer. And you'll see the milk falling there. Now we have to do this to get rid of any of these lumps that you have in the milk. And this is the way that I was taught to do it. So please guys, if you all can just put up with all of the work that is involved in this, trust me, it's worth it. So I'm going to sift all of the milk. And then I'll put it into this other bowl and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, when you finish sifted all of the milk, return it to your bigger bowl. Now we're going to work on the sugar syrup to make this. Here I have 4 cups of water, 4 cups of granulated sugar. You're going to add the sugar to the pot of water. Okay guys, if 4 cups of sugar is too much for you, you can use 3. But remember, you want to create a thick syrup, and if you have less sugar, your syrup is not going to be thick and sticky. So I'm going to let this boil in here until this syrup thickens up and it's at that sticky stage. While I'm waiting for that sugar syrup to come up to a boil, I'm just going to lightly grease the trays that I'm going to make the barfi on. So the sugar syrup is right where I want it to be, nice and sticky. It's a thick, simple syrup. If you have ever made simple syrup, you want it to be thick. So this is finished. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to set it aside and just let it cool down slightly. So we're not going to let the syrup cool down until it gets cold. You just want it to cool down just for about 2 minutes. To the milk, I'm going to add in some ghee. Okay, now you're going to add your syrup. And I'm going to add it directly on top of the ghee. Now you're going to add a little at a time. And mix that in. The ghee is going to melt. And don't worry, you're not going to create lumps. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it, and you see how that's holding and it's keeping its shape. That means you have enough of that sugar syrup in here. And you see, it's not like overly wet and sticky. This is the consistency you want it to be, so that when you squeeze it, it comes together. Now we need to transfer this onto the tray. So this is half of the mixture on this one cookie tray. Now you're going to put some ghee on your hands, rub that on your hands, and now you're going to take your hands and you're going to press this down. Now I like a more crumbly barfi. I don't like a sticky, chewy barfi. So the more sugar syrup you put in this, the more sticky and chewy it's going to become. Okay, after you've pressed it on, it's really smooth. I like taking a piece of plastic wrap and just placing it over the barfi. And then I take my rolling pin and I just go over it just to smoothen out the top. Okay, next remove the plastic wrap. Okay, next you're gonna put on your sprinkles, and you wanna be light with your hand because you see how big these holes are. If you're using your fingers to sprinkle it, then that's fine, but if you're using it from the bottle, just be very careful as you're drizzling it on, because you don't want to over put too much of sprinkles. You just want the right amount. Okay, once you've finished placing the sprinkles on it, you're going to set this aside and allow it to cool and harden. So guys, after the barfi hardened, you can tell the difference when you feel it. You're going to take your knife. I like using my pizza cutter so it doesn't damage my cookie tray. And you're going to cut this into the size of squares you would like. Then you want to go the opposite direction. Once you've cut them, you can go ahead and remove them from your tray and place them in an airtight container, or you can go ahead and serve these right away. So here you have it, my recipe for Trini milk barfi or barfi. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope I've made it simpler than the first recipe that I have on my channel. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to my channel, I hope you remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you all another day with another one of my recipes. Enjoy!